If you're listening to this right now, there's a good chance you already know that willpower alone isn't enough. You've felt it, haven't you? That tug of war between the person you want to be and the impulses that pull you off course. One part of you wants to wake up early, speak gently, focus deeply, spend wisely, eat clean, and act with dignity. Another part wants comfort, revenge, a quick scroll, another bite, another purchase, an easy out. Which part wins? Most days, it depends on which part you feed. But what if you could change that balance? What if self-control could become your default, calm, steady, and reliable, no longer a dramatic battle, but a practiced art? That is the promise of Stoicism when it's lived, not merely studied. The Stoics were not emotionless statues, they were practical teachers of inner strength. They taught that self-control is less about crushing yourself, and more about directing yourself, less about force, more about freedom. It's a freedom born from knowing what's under your command and what isn't, from making noble choices repeatedly until they become easier than the old reflexes. In the next hour, I'm going to talk to you like a friend, like a mentor who sits beside you, not above you. I won't throw lofty theories at you and leave you alone with them. I'll offer you tools you can pick up today. We will talk about attention and impulses, about the moment before you speak and the moment before you click, about anger and cravings, about designing your environment, about recovering from setbacks without shame, and about the kind of inner dialogue that makes discipline feel like a gift you give yourself, rather than a punishment you endure. Self-control, in the Stoic sense, is not a trick for special people. It's a habit of the soul that anyone can train. So ask yourself, as we begin, what would your days feel like if you trusted yourself to keep your word, even when no one is watching? What would it feel like to carry a quiet strength that you can lean on in difficult moments? Let's build that, step by step. Part 1. The Stoic Foundation. What you truly control. The first pillar of Stoic self-control is the famous distinction between what is up to us and what is not. The Stoics used a word that's worth remembering. Proheresis, the faculty of choice. It's the inner steering wheel that turns you toward or away from an impulse. You don't control the traffic, the weather, the economy, or the past. You do control your judgments, intentions, and actions. When you internalize this, something shifts. You stop wrestling reality and start shaping your response. Notice how liberating that is. If a colleague is rude, you cannot control the colleague, but you can control whether you add your anger to the room or subtract it by bringing calm. If your appetite asks for more when you've had enough, you cannot control that first automatic surge of wanting. However, you can choose whether to obey it. If your mind throws you anxious thoughts at 2 a.m., you cannot control the arrival of those thoughts. You can control what you do next. Do you chase them down the hallway or let them pass like people at a station? Stoic self-control begins as a simple practice. Each time you're triggered, silently ask, is this mine to control? If it is, your tone of voice, your posture, your next step, own it fully. If it isn't, someone else's opinion, a delay, a rumor, release the urge to master it. Paradoxically, you become more powerful the moment you stop trying to control the uncontrollable. Your energy returns to the one place where it can actually make a difference: your choices. Consider how this plays out in daily life. You get stuck in traffic and arrive late. You could stew, swear, hit the horn, and arrive at your destination full of heat. Or you could accept the facts and use the time, breathe, call to reschedule, rehearse your opening line, pray if you're the praying, type or sit in silence and let your nervous system settle. Same situation, two different inner lives. Which one matches the person you're becoming? Don't underestimate the quiet courage required for this. The world rewards reactivity with attention. The Stoic rewards self-command with peace. Every time you make the distinction, mine, not mine, you file a vote for the person who steers from the inside. Over time, those votes add up. Part 2. The moment before. Training attention and interrupting impulses. Before any lapse in self-control, there's a moment before. The moment before you reach for the phone, before you snap back, before you open the fridge at midnight. If you can stretch that moment just a little, you win back your freedom. The Stoics called this prosoche, attentive presence. It's not mystical, it's trainable. Here's a practice you can begin today. The 2-second pause. Whenever you feel an impulse rise, do not obey it immediately. Pause. Take one slow breath in, one slow breath out. Ask yourself one of two questions. What would my wiser self do? Or will this choice strengthen or weaken me into seconds? You have placed your hands back on the steering wheel. This is not about denying yourself forever. It's about giving your better judgment a chance to speak before the impulse drags you. You might wonder, will 2 seconds really make a difference? Try it. The pause doesn't kill desire. It changes your relationship with it. Desire stops being a command and becomes a suggestion. Anger stops being a fire that leaps from your chest and becomes a spark you can watch. And when you watch, you learn. What time of day do you cave most easily? Which emotions make you abandon your rules? Which people or places nudge you toward your worst habits? This is intelligence you can use. Journaling sharpens this intelligence. In the evening, ask yourself, when did I keep my word to myself today? When did I break it? What was I feeling then? What did I believe that made the lapse seem reasonable? You may discover that your lapses are not random. They follow a pattern: fatigue and loneliness in the late afternoon, boredom at night, frustration after a certain meeting. Once you see the map, you can place guardrails where they are needed. Not everywhere. Breath work helps too, especially in the first wave of anger or craving. You don't need a ritual, you need a simple anchor. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 4, release for 6. Do that 3 times. The body de-escalates and the mind can think. Is this avoidance or nourishment? Is this revenge or justice? Is this a relief I'll pay for later? With a calmer body, your answers improve. One more tool for the moment before. Replacement. Nature dislikes a vacuum. If you remove an old impulse, put a small, better impulse in its place. When you feel like scrolling, stand up and take 10 slow steps. When you want to eat late at night, make tea and sit with the warmth for 5 minutes. When you want to reply in anger, type the message, read it aloud once, and then delete it. The body likes rhythm. Give it a new one. Part 3: Working with emotions, naming, reframing, and the view from above. Self-control is not suppression, it's skillful handling. Picture yourself as a rider guiding a strong horse. You don't beat the horse, you learn its moods, its strengths, its fears, and you ride with alert kindness. The same is true for your emotions. Begin with naming. When you feel flooded, say to yourself, this is anger, or this is craving, or this is shame. It sounds too simple, but naming creates a gap between you and the feeling. The feeling was everything, now it's something. Something can be observed and guided. Now reframe it. Ask, what else could this mean if someone criticizes you? It could mean they're cruel. It could also mean they're clumsy or hurting or even trying to help. If a plan collapses, it could mean you're doomed. It could also mean you're being redirected toward a better design. The Stoic reframe is not delusion, it's moral imagination. You actively search for interpretations that keep your agency intact. Then use the view from above. Visualize yourself lifting past your house, your neighborhood, your city higher and higher until your problem looks small against the curve of the earth. See the rivers, mountains, the sweep of years in a week. Will this matter in a year? Your nervous system relaxes. Perspective is a natural sedative. What felt like a command, retaliate now, indulge now, shrinks into an option. You could, but you don't have to. For anger in particular, carry a simple sentence with you. I will keep my dignity. Dignity is the anchor that stops you from doing or saying what you would regret. Ask yourself, if a camera were on me now, would I be proud of this behavior? If my child or a student copied me, would I smile or cringe? This is not performative morality. It's a reminder that your example is part of your legacy. When you rest your choices on dignity, self-control feels less like deprivation and more like belonging to your best self. For craving, replace the fantasy of immediate pleasure with the full picture. See not just the first 5 minutes, but the next hour. Imagine the grogginess, the guilt, the lost time. Then place beside it the alternative, the clean feeling of keeping your promise to yourself, the respect you earn in your own eyes, the momentum you carry into tomorrow. Which future do you want to wake up in? Part 4: Environment design. Make the good easy and the bad inconvenient. The Stoics trained the mind, yes, but they weren't foolish about human nature. If your environment constantly tugs you toward distraction and indulgence, you're fighting uphill all day. Self-control is not about white-knuckling through temptation. It's about arranging things so that your better choices are frictionless and your worst choices are a hassle. Look around your spaces. What, within sight, calls your attention away from what matters? What's on your phone's first screen? How many notifications interrupt your thoughts? If you keep sweets on the counter, you will think about them every time you pass by. If your phone sleeps beside you, you will meet it before you meet your morning. If your desk is noisy with tabs and gadgets, deep work will be rare. You don't need to be extreme. You need to be deliberate. Here's a simple rule. If it matters, make it visible and ready. If it doesn't, make it hidden and distant. Put your journal and pen out where you sit at night. Place a glass and water by the bed so morning hydration is automatic. Put your running shoes where your feet land. If you want less phone time, charge it outside the bedroom. Set app time limits and keep the password in a closed notebook. If late night snacking is your trap, don't bring the trap home or store it high and out of sight. Yes, you are an adult. Yes, you can theoretically resist. But why wrestle every day when you can design once? Commitment devices help because they allow the person you are right now, the clear-headed version, to protect the person you will be later when you're tired. Schedule your workout with a friend. Put money on the line for a goal. Set your streaming service to require a second code for weekday evenings. The point is not to become a surveillance state for yourself. The point is to tip the odds. If marshmallows are everywhere, children will eat marshmallows. We are all children sometimes. Build a kinder house. When you do indulge, do it openly and on purpose, not secretly and compulsively. Plan a treat, enjoy it without guilt. Notice the urge to extend it just a little more, and then stop at the agreed time. You're training a message into your nervous system. Satisfaction is possible, and it is chosen, not stolen. Part 5: Habits of a Steady Soul. Morning, midday, and night. If you want self-control under pressure, practice when the seas are calm. Daily rituals matter less for their complexity and more for their consistency. Think of 3 small anchors: morning, midday, and night. In the morning, decide your day, not every hour, just the moral direction. Ask, what kind of person am I today? Patient, disciplined, generous. Choose one virtue to emphasize. Write a sentence: today I will protect my attention. Or today, I will treat people as ends, not means. Or today I will keep my word to myself. Carry that sentence, and when you face a decision, hold your choice next to it. Does this match my sentence? Midday reset. Between tasks, pause to tidy your space and your mind. Close the loops that pull at you. Send the quick message. Drink water. Stretch your back. Take 3 breaths and identify the single next action that will move your main task forward. Then do just that action. Momentum is a friend to self-control. Once you start moving, you spend less time negotiating with yourself. At night, review. Ask 3 questions. What did I handle well? Where did I lose myself? What is one small improvement for tomorrow? This review is not a trial, it's a lesson. If you broke a promise to yourself, don't rehearse the shame. Extract the lesson. I snack when I work late. Next time I'll clear the desk at 9 p.m. and make tea. Then forgive yourself and sleep. A tired mind says yes when it should say no. Protect your sleep like a fortress. Here's a tactic many find useful. Make an if-then plan for your slippery spots. If I feel the itch to scroll in bed, then I will stand up, walk to the sink, splash water on my face, and read the pages of a paper book. If someone interrupts me and I feel heat in my chest, then I will say, give me a second, take 1 breath, and answer in a measured tone. If I crave sugar in the afternoon, then I will eat fruit, drink water, and walk outside. For 5 minutes, these are not grand vows. They are small rails that keep the train from drifting. Part 6: Boundaries, Relationships, and the Courage to be Calm. Self-control is tested most in relationships because other people carry their own storms, and those storms blow across our decks. The Stoic aim is not to control others, it is to be a safe harbor that requires boundaries firm, clear, and kind. A boundary is an instruction to yourself, not a leash for someone else. If a conversation becomes insulting, I will end it. If a colleague tries to hand me their task, I will say, I can't take that on right now. If a loved one raises their voice, I will lower mine. Notice how these boundaries return power to your choices. No one has to agree for you to keep them. When a conflict arises, try this short script. Clarify, mirror, and choose. Clarify, help me understand what you're asking. Mirror, reflect their emotion without endorsing it. It sounds like you're frustrated. Choose, decide your action. I'm willing to do X. I'm not willing to do Y. Your tone matters more than your words. Calm is power. People may not like your boundary, but they will feel your steadiness. What about forgiveness? Forgiveness, in the Stoic sense, is the release of poisonous rumination. It's not the denial of harm, and it doesn't erase consequences. It's the decision to stop drinking the bitterness yourself. You can hold others accountable without letting their actions live rent-free in your chest. Let justice do its work where appropriate. Let your heart do its own work, keeping your dignity, preserving goodwill where possible, and refusing to be mastered by resentment. Remember also the positive side of self-control in relationships, the discipline to praise, to listen, to be slow to judge. Emotional generosity is not weakness. It is leadership. The person who can stay composed while others spiral becomes an anchor. And anchors are rare. Ask yourself, what is it like to be on the other side of me? If the answer is predictable, fair, kind, and firm, you are practicing Stoic love. Part 7. Resilience after a lapse. Begin again without drama. Even the disciplined fall. The Stoics knew this. The issue is never perfection. It is recovery. When you break your word to yourself, there are two roads. One road is familiar, shame, harsh self-talk, I've already messed up, so why not keep going, cascade. That road ends in more of what you don't want. The other road is quite responsible. Name the lapse, learn the lesson, and begin again immediately. When you lapse, say, I stepped off the path. Do not say, I am the kind of person who always steps off the path. Identity statements are heavy. Keep them light and accurate. I made a choice that didn't match my values. Then review the chain. What cue? What emotion? What story? What timing led to the decision? Adjust the environment, the if-then plan, and the boundary the next time the cue appears. Try the new move. Track wins, not just failures. Your brain learns from successes. It needs proof that you can do this, and you can. Practice voluntary discomfort in small doses to strengthen this muscle. Take a cold shower for 30 seconds. Skip the elevator. Wait 15 minutes before eating when hunger twinges. Say no to the first soft invitation to procrastinate. Each act whispers to your nervous system, we can feel discomfort without panicking. Over time, the volume of urges drops. You don't become immune, you become unafraid. If your lapse harmed someone, clean it up. Apologize without excuses. State what you'll do differently, then do it. Redemption is practical. If your lapse harmed only you, still clean it up. Return the snack to the shelf. Close the app. Put your body where your virtue is more likely. This is not punishment, it's restoration. Above all, don't let a bad 5 minutes become a bad day, or a bad day become a bad week. Begin again is the most powerful phrase in the disciplined life. Begin again at 10:17 a.m., at 2:43 p.m., at 9:56 p.m. There is always a next right step. Part 8. For scenes, Stoic self-control in action. Let's bring this to ground with for ordinary scenes and walk them the Stoic way. Scene 1. You're in traffic, late for a meeting. The light turns green, the car ahead stays still, and rage flickers. The old pattern is to honk, mutter, and arrive tense. The Stoic pattern begins with the 2-second pause. Breathe. Is this mine to control? No. What is my tone when I arrive? My preparation, my body. Call ahead, running 5 minutes behind. Starting without me is fine. Roll your shoulders back. Engage the view from above. In a week, will this matter? You arrive collected, people feel it, and you privately enjoy a kind of victory. I didn't hand my mood to a stranger. Scene 2. It's 10:30 p.m. You're tired. The fridge calls. You promised yourself not to eat late. The old pattern is to rationalize, just this once, and then follow it with regret. The Stoic pattern starts earlier, with environment design, little sugar in the house, herbal tea on the counter. The moment arrives. You pause, you name the feeling. This is comfort seeking. You reframe. Food won't fix fatigue. Sleep will. You walk to the sink, make tea, and sit with the warmth. The craving rises, peaks, and falls. You go to bed a little proud. Pride is fuel. Scene 3. A colleague criticizes your work in a group chat clumsily, perhaps unfairly. The old pattern is to fire back or retreat into resentment. The Stoic pattern: clarify, mirror, choose. You type, thanks for the feedback. I want to understand better. Are you saying the timeline is the main concern? You mirror, it sounds like we're all under pressure. You choose, here's what I can adjust by Friday. The rest needs a separate discussion. You keep your dignity. The room cools. You demonstrate leadership without a title. Scene 4. You sit down to do a difficult task. Procrastination uncurls like a cat and sits in your lap. The old pattern is to negotiate for the perfect mood. The Stoic pattern uses the smallest possible start. You define the first 5-minute action. Open the document, write the title. Write 3 ugly sentences. You promise yourself you can stop after 5 minutes. You begin. 5 minutes turns to 20. The task is not finished, but the dragon is smaller because you looked it in the eyes and moved anyway. These scenes are not heroic, they are everyday life. Stoic self-control is not about climbing a mountain once. It's about taking 1,000 steps across the day with steadiness. Part 9. Inner speech. The mentor in your chest. What voice do you use when you speak to yourself? Many of us carry an inner critic who believes cruelty sharpens discipline. It doesn't. Cruelty makes us hide from ourselves, and what we hide, we cannot improve. Stoic self-control is firm but not harsh. Your inner voice should talk to you like a wise coach, honest about the standard, compassionate about the struggle, specific about the next step. Try this script when you're tempted. I know what you want right now, and part of me wants it, too. But we've chosen a different life. Let's make a move we'll be proud of. Or after a lapse, we stepped off. That's done. What's the lesson? Good. Now let's take the next right step. Speak to yourself out loud if needed. Your nervous system listens. Use identity statements that point forward. Instead of "I'm bad with money," say, "I'm learning to be a careful steward." Instead of "I have no self-control," say, "I am practicing reliable self-control." The goal is not magical thinking, it is alignment. If you tell yourself you're unreliable, your behavior will creep to match. If you tell yourself you are becoming steady, your behavior will reach to meet that goal. When you struggle, borrow a mind. Ask, what would the best version of me do? Or, if you like, what would Marcus do? The name matters less than the image of a person you respect, standing with you in the room. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be accompanied by a standard that inspires you. Part 10. Meaning and motivation. Why self-control matters. Why go through all of this? Why not drift and let moods decide? Because a life without self-control is a life you don't get to author. You become a character in other people's stories, a consumer of other people's agendas, a reactor to random weather. That is a kind of soft slavery. The Stoic path is freedom not to do whatever you feel like, but to do what you decide is right consistently. That freedom produces a quiet joy, different from the spike of pleasure that comes and goes. It's the joy of trusting yourself. Self-control also creates capacity for love and service. When you are no longer ruled by your appetites and tantrums, you can show up for others without leaking your storm into their day. You can be the friend who actually listens, the parent who stays calm, the colleague who does the job without drama. Your discipline is not just for you. It is for the people who depend on you and for the ones who watch you without your knowing. And take courage from your steadiness. Finally, self-control aims at something bigger than personal success. It aims at character. The world does not need more brilliant people who are loose cannons. It needs people who can be trusted with power, with money, with attention, with anger, with grief. Each time you keep your word to yourself, you practice being such a person. The little victories, the quiet no, the thoughtful yes, they accumulate. One day, at a crossroads that really matters, you will discover that your reflex is noble. That is not luck. That is training. I want to leave you with an image. Imagine a small lamp in a window on a winter night. The wind slaps the glass. Snow stacks against the sill. The road is dark. The lamp is not a lighthouse. It doesn't blaze. It is simple and steady. It doesn't shout. It doesn't flicker when the gusts come. It just shines where it stands. People walking in the night see it and feel, without words, that there is warmth somewhere, that someone is awake. This is self-control, the Stoic way, not flashy, not brittle, a steady lamp. You build it with distinctions, what's mine to control, what isn't. You strengthen it with pauses and breath, with naming and reframing, with the view from above. You protect it with environmental design and offend plans. You dignify it with boundaries and calm speech. You repair it by beginning again. You keep it company with a wise inner voice, and you honor it with a purpose larger than your comfort. Will you still feel strong temptations? Of course, will anger still rush to your face sometimes? Yes, but you will know what to do. You will pause, you will choose, you will protect your dignity. You will practice the small duty in front of you, and you will notice that what used to throw you now barely nudges you. What used to own you now asks for permission. So, as you set down this listening and return to your life, pick one scene that you know is coming, an afternoon craving, a difficult conversation, a familiar distraction, and decide your move ahead of time. Make it small, make it specific. Then when the moment arrives, pause, breathe, and do what you decided. File one vote for the person you're becoming. Tomorrow, add another. Let your days become a string of such votes, until the necklace of your character is strong and beautiful. And if tonight you falter, you know what to do. Forgive quickly, learn the lesson, and begin again. The lamp is still there. The night passes, dawn comes. You remain at your post, steady in soul. Mastering self-control is not an event, but a lifelong friendship with your better self. Keep that companionship with tenderness and resolve. Walk the path with patience. And remember, the world is a little less dark when you hold your light.